On my phone, I have some of my most treasured words. They're hidden away in a dusty, dark corner alongside forgotten grocery lists and half-finished New Year's resolutions. Every time a phrase strikes me just right, I quickly jot it down before swiping up to leave it between workout goals and a note simply titled, period, with a handwritten question, do you think robots are lonely? Because I don't know, I think they might be. For years, I created in solitude and wrote in solitude. I attended galleries, but kept my own art tucked away. I watched others creating and sharing in community. I could have stayed in this quiet place of creation because I believe in the power of self-expression for your own joy. I'm a firm believer in creating without expectations or pressure. But I'm also a firm believer in the power of community. A few years ago, I summoned the courage to give my poem some fresh air, and I went to an open mic. I thought even if I just stared and no words left me, at least I'd be surrounded by strangers. What I found was community, acceptance, and a home for my words. I want everyone to experience the power of creativity and community. I want everyone to feel the freedom of self-expression. This journey led me to explore how art can enhance communities, both locally and globally, and how it can improve our lives. It made me realize that our path to a better world lies in art and creativity. Finding stories from around the world so we can imagine this world together, where art has impacted us. So first, a step back to 2020. A year that affected everyone. But for Latino communities in LA, COVID's effect was compounded by misinformation, existing health disparities, community distrust, and poor communication. Frontiers in Health had some ideas, but they knew they couldn't tackle it alone. So they teamed up with local artists and community leaders to work alongside public health officials to create art that would promote infection mitigation and mental well-being. What they found was powerful. Not only did the art help make the messages more appealing and relatable, a tentative trust was built between the community and the public health officials. But improved public health isn't the only way that our world is changed by art. It can bring people together in profound ways. Laura Ohl wanted to figure out how art helps in community development and social cohesion. She found that the spaces created by art classes and installations served as platforms for diverse groups to engage with and share in cultural experiences. These shared experiences then spark conversation where people can explore different perspectives and interpretation. This process helps build stronger connections, leading to greater investment in neighborhoods, increased happiness, and better mental health outcomes. There's also an element of safety at play. Here in Louisville, artists worked alongside city planners to create street murals, not only to beautify these areas, but to reduce vehicle-pedestrian accidents. And research from Bloomberg Industries shows that streets incorporating art like this see a 50% drop in those accidents. We need more than development and cohesion. We need restoration in our existing communities. Art therapist Jordan Patash and his team guide workshops around the world, using art as a tool for peace building around challenging and divisive topics such as immigration, racism, and politics. His team carefully builds these workshops with guidelines inspired by the work of Dr. King, focusing on empathy and nonviolent problem solving. This approach helps break down barriers, making a real difference in how people connect across divides. And it's not just the folks in the workshops who benefit. As research shows, even our future doctors become more empathetic from engaging in group art. It's clear that art has a profound effect on shaping our capacity for empathy and connection. However, access to art and art therapy can be a barrier for some communities. Jeong Sung's method of arts-based community engagement seeks to break down these barriers, benefiting nonprofit organizations and the communities they serve, both socially and financially. In Atlanta, Out of Hand Theater uses their method to support underserved communities. One of their programs, called Shows and Homes, are one-act plays paired alongside dinner parties with community partners to drive change. They're performed in living rooms across Metro Atlanta every year with subjects like gun violence, sponsored by Moms Demand Action, and another around mass incarceration with the Georgia Justice Project. As that theater in Atlanta is using storytelling to drive social change, creativity is being merged with climate science by Kate Farewell to drive behavior change. They partner with hundreds of scientists and creatives in producing powerful artistic messages that inspire action. In Scotland, one of their programs focused on communicating the effects of global warming on the Arctic tern. They recruited people to create and distribute these fuzzy knitted terns all over Scotland to raise awareness and empathy around the impact of climate change on seabirds and encourage more climate-minded behavior. But climate change impacts us all. People around the world are increasingly forced to migrate due to resource scarcity, conflict, and extreme weather events. Art plays a crucial role in community building, rebuilding, healing, and messaging. But what people need when living in traumatic circumstances goes way beyond that. They need tools to cope with and process their experience. These photos come from two events where this was employed. The first, a refugee camp in a former Iraqi prison where the Castle Art Project provided children with art supplies to help them express their emotion and make sense of their trauma. In this photo, the words read, "We miss our home." The second, while not guided by a specific project, art became a powerful tool for processing deep collective grief after a devastating earthquake shook Nepal. Reflecting on his painting, the artist says, "I hope when viewing my painting, people can find peace and for a moment can forget themselves and just be present here." For Kiran, the urban muralist, he reflects, "Basically, after the earthquake, people became scared of walls. It was crucial for us street artists to get people back into appreciating these walls again with street art. We felt it was necessary for the city to recover, for the growth of the city, but also for street art to flourish again." Within our global and local communities, I believe art's impact on our lives is evident. So how does art lead us as individuals into this liberated world? I know I have focused on the intersection of community and art, but I want to emphasize the power of self-expression for your own joy. What does the science say about the impact of that? Well, researchers in Australia set out to explore whether arts engagement had any impact on mental health and how strong it could be. They found that more arts engagement was linked to feeling better overall, having stronger social connections, increased happiness, and experiencing less intense loneliness, something I think we all would like to experience. The surprising fact is the minimum threshold for these benefits sits at just 2 hours per week. So what would carving out 2 hours of our busy lives look like? Not for therapy, this is simply for enjoyment. The beauty of it is you don't have to be painting the next Mona Lisa, but I would like you to try painting as a painter myself. You could be attending a concert, taking a pottery class, visiting a local gallery, volunteering at a theater, volunteering at a local gallery, or even going to a book reading or an open mic. Our world is beautiful, and our liberation can be as well. At the start of this talk, I wanted us to imagine a kinder, healthier, more connected and engaged world through art and creativity. But not just for me. I want this for you. I want you to carve out time in your busy life for art. I want you to engage with it for the sheer joy of expression. I want you to find a sense of connection in your community. And over time, I want you to find yourself flourishing, vibrantly alive in our shared colorful canvas of existence. Thank you.